Okay, let's say it again. So the height above the engine module is?
Yeah, so it turns out when the engine module is here, it sits about, the current module sits about 5 inches over the top of the frame, which is 20 inches tall overall. So we have about 25 inches, then whatever ground clearance you want, it's adjustable. Well, it turns out when it's set at the ground clearance similar to a Ford F-150, the area above the engine module is about the bed height of a Ford F-150. An F-150 bed is about this wide to this wide, the standard bed, and is about from here to here. So if we maybe get a 2-seat interior module car, we can install the bed of a Ford F-150 verbatim. We could cut it off and put it on, but we'd probably make a lighter one that's the same size. Or we can move it slightly back, and we have, and then it requires centered weight distribution, right, of the load. But we could actually have 4 seats, so a super cab and a standard bed. But we actually have a bed where the weight is entirely within the wheelbase if we have a 2-seat interior module. And it's directly over the structure of the car. So we're able to actually have, this needs to be validated.
Yeah.
But looking at the equations, we have the capability to deliver the same amount of bed load capacity as a Ford F-150 and actually even the same amount of towing capacity. Now that's a huge thing to say, and we want to test it. But the formulas say that it's possible with the same architecture.
And what is the limit to the load capacity of that bed?
Oh man,
currently?
I'd need to look
I mean,
it
is
up,
it the suspension or is the frame
oh,
strength?
Oh, I thought you were saying the number, which is like 5,600 pounds or something like that. It's huge.
For F-150?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, F-150 is a half-ton.
There's multiple packages, right? And so we opted to compare against the top level package.
And the top level is about 5,000 pounds of bed?
I'd need to look it up. Oh, maybe don't publish that. I need to have it in front of me. This was research we did Christmas time.
Okay,
so we'll
that's
have to see.
very interesting for transportation purposes.
It's a huge capacity.
Our wheelbase, our track is about the same, so it's, you know, the fact that the car is lighter could have some effects on something like towing capacity, but really it actually gives us more. Then ultimately it would be up to the strength of the individual suspension and drivetrain components, but since that's modular, and that was an important point, that those plates can be bolted off, and a completely different plate with completely different suspension could be bolted on, so we've got lots of options.
Is the load-bearing capacity of this frame not the limit here?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Long shot.
For what? For like...
This thing essentially, mechanically, works like it's one giant ingot of aluminum until it reaches its fail strength. Because it's like an I-beam where you got these thick flanges on the side, this thin little web in between is how it behaves. And so until its fail strength, it works like a solid block of aluminum. And its fail strength is very high because it's 6061 T6 is what the frame is made out of. Now, all of these extrusions are stock extrusions that multiple suppliers provide. So we're not married to any given supplier, and these are in stock, so we have no lead time. We just go pick them up. They're 4-inch by 4-inch square tube, 1/8-inch wall, 6061 T6 extrusions. And we just get one of them, chop it on the bandsaw into 14 pieces, and weld it together, and we have a chassis. So it's a 14-piece chassis made out of common stock that's available all over the world. And they already do price competition with each other because it's a common stock part.
What's the price on that?
$540.
$540.
For all this material.
Well, and even more, right? That includes the belly pan and some other aspects. It is $540.
Yeah.
And it weighs 124 pounds.
Absolutely amazing. Let me see if I can really pick this up. Is this for real? Yes, it is. I can't do that to our tractor.
Good note. That's a good high note there. Suggests a very high frequency, very stiff.